When reaching out to a person you've never met before, would you rather text or call?
I would usually text them. Probably text them.
If it was a new friendship, I'd probably call them because you can't really tell much over a text.
I think these days a lot of people don't like, taking calls.
A recent research has found that phone calls create stronger bonds compared to text messages, yet people still choose to text because they fear awkwardness in phone conversations. Published by the University of Texas at Austin, US, the study had more than 600 people predict the level of awkwardness they would feel when texting and calling. They were then asked to test their predictions by interacting with long-lost friends and strangers through different media.
So in some of the situations that we had people in, for instance, they were reconnecting with an old friend, maybe that feels a bit uncomfortable for a few seconds, but then these phone calls last for 15 or 20 minutes. And then when you ask people afterwards how that felt, they say it felt great. So what they were worried about at the beginning isn't necessarily reflective of how they feel once an interaction has already happened. There actually is no difference in awkwardness between these different ways of reconnecting.
Although the research did not touch on the cause of awkwardness during phone calls, one of the psychological reasons might be anxiety.
Most people have some sense of anxiety in social situations or when they meet people, and it's exactly the same on the phone. So there's a fear of saying the wrong thing, being perceived to be stupid or awkward or something like that.
In Victoria, the Australian Bureau of Statistics recorded more than 500,000 people living alone during the pandemic. Loneliness does become a public concern. A survey released last July found that 1 in 2 Australians have been feeling lonelier since the start of COVID-19.
Not having social support in your life is as big a risk factor for death, essentially, as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. We're all extremely worried about cigarette smoking affecting people's health, but we should be a little bit more worried than we are about a lack of social connection in our life. I think we should care about enabling people to have effective social connections with other people.
Humans are social creatures and we require social contact to feel good for our well-being. It would be very useful to use the phone more because the benefits of having voice contact help create a sense of being connected and reduce the sense of loneliness.
With Victoria still in lockdown, the research encouraged people to call friends and family more often, and for policymakers and tech developers to further facilitate people in using this media. Teresa Yovela, DK News.